Hello, Mississippi. It's about 3:30 on Wednesday afternoon. This is obviously day 4 of this very challenging winter weather event. And what we're seeing happening now is a continuation, a new front, but a continuation of some really challenging times that we're having here in our state. We've dealt with a lot of storms, and we know how to deal with storms in our state. But this is relatively unusual. One of the reasons it's so unusual is because right now in our state, virtually everybody is at risk, but everyone is at different levels of risk. For instance, right now, our biggest challenge over the next 36 hours in the Mississippi Delta is the fact that we're likely to have a significant amount of ice hitting the Mississippi Delta. Meanwhile, in the Metro Jackson all the way up to northeast Mississippi, there's a possibility of as much as 1 to 2 inches of snow and definitely the likelihood of some ice. You get down in South Mississippi, down in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, we got hail and tornadoes are possible over the next 36 hours. But we know that our roads are very challenging right now. Many of the major interstates throughout our state are very challenging. People are trying to move from place to place. Many people have to, moving to work, moving goods and services around the country. A lot of 18-wheelers out on our major interstates and major highways. But we know that they all have been affected by winter weather. Right now, for instance, here in the metro area of Jackson, we are also dealing with the fact that for all intents and purposes, we are without water in downtown Jackson, but we do still have power. One of the challenges as we look to the evening is as the ice accumulates, particularly as ice accumulates on power lines and as ice accumulates on the trees, as the temperatures drop down into the low 20s and perhaps even in the upper teens, it is highly likely, certainly very possible, but maybe even highly likely that we're going to see more power outages. Our men and women, our linemen from throughout the state are working diligently. We started the day with approximately 36,000 power outages as of 6 a.m. this morning. Our men and women have been able to cut that almost in half. We are down to about 18,000 today. But we also know going into the evening that number could flip around. But there are a lot of men and women that are putting themselves in harm's way, and we want to thank them. Our linemen from our rural electric co-ops, our men and women that are working at TVA, at Entergy, at Mississippi Power. Those men and women are out in this weather helping protect us, and we want to thank them along with our first responders, our healthcare heroes, and so many other people. We know that ice is different than snow. You know, you can actually plow snow. It's very difficult to plow ice, virtually impossible, and that's one of the reasons that we've seen prolonged challenges here that Mother Nature has brought us. Again, we're going to continue to monitor very, very closely. We know you are, but what I want to say to everyone across the state is please be safe, take care of yourself, but also remember if you've got a neighbor that is elderly, you've got someone that maybe is struggling, might shut in close to you, try to check on them as well. Try to reach out to them and see and make sure that they're okay, that they're able to stay warm. We certainly are doing that from the state's perspective. I've been in virtually constant contact with our Department of Public Safety, with our Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, as well as the Department of Health and others. And we'll continue to do so, but nothing can go further than you checking on one of your neighbors and alerting authorities should they need help. I want to remind you also that yesterday we did open up some additional first dose appointments. One of the many hardships of this particular storm is that we've had to close a large number of our vaccination sites. So this is going to be a challenging week with respect to that. There's nothing we can do about it. We've got a few open today. I know Hattiesburg's open. I know that several on the coast are open. But we're going to reschedule automatically those appointments that we're not being able to fulfill Monday, Tuesday, and so far today. But we also have additional new first dose opportunities that some of which are still available. They became available early yesterday morning. If If you go to covidvaccine.umc.edu or call our helpline at 877-978-6453, there's still a couple thousand of those appointments. I believe the week of March 1 or the week of March 8th. There's a few of both, but you can certainly get those. We are moving very rapidly through those over the age of 65, and hopefully we'll be able to open to more of our fellow Mississippians very, very soon. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the hard work of all of our partners, partner entities. I'm excited about the fact that we're going to get more vaccine as more is produced in the coming days and weeks and months by Pfizer, by Moderna, by other companies perhaps if they get federal authorization, emergency federal authorization for those vaccines. I look forward to that opportunity. But again, let me just reiterate to everyone, it's a challenging time. We've got to look out for ourselves, but we've also got to look out for our neighbors. Our first responders are out. Our road crews are out trying to get the roads as safe as possible if you absolutely have to travel. But please know that going into tonight, with in some areas rain, sleet, freezing rain, and in some areas even snow, as the temperatures come down, when the sundown occurs at 5 or 6 o'clock here in a couple hours, the temperatures go from low 30s down into the low 20s, maybe even high teens. There is a real opportunity for that ice coming back, and I hope that doesn't occur, but it's highly possible and highly likely that it will. And I just want everyone to be safe. We have worked, our state law enforcement, our local law enforcement has worked 1,115 accidents on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's as of 6 a.m. this morning. We've worked 1,115 accidents all throughout our state. So that's an average of 4 or 5 accidents per county per day over the last 3 days. So it is dangerous to be out on the roads, and if you can avoid it, please do so. If you cannot avoid it, then obviously be careful, be smart, try to have someone with you, and make sure your cell phone is charged or whatever communication device that you have, so you can get help should you need it. So that's my update for today. I want to thank everyone for looking out for one another in all of these accidents. We have not yet seen any fatalities reported. We have not seen any major medical challenges, and we want to keep it that way. And the only way we can keep it that way is to work with you for the betterment of our state. We know that we've got a little more area to get through and a little more time to get through. But again, I strongly encourage you to keep on keeping on. I'm proud of you. Stay safe out there, and God bless Mississippi.